Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have an amazing success story from the email coaching team. I think this story is great because it actually talks about taking action and the results from taking action. So it also gives me a really good opportunity to talk about inspired action. What is inspired action? When do you take it? Like when to act and when not to act. So we're definitely going to cover all of this and more in the video. But just before I do, guys, you know we're having a contest. All you need to do to enter is share the video, subscribe, and as well comment below what you've manifested watching our channel using the law of attraction. And if you would like to ask me, Amanda, a question, check out the link in the description below. You can sign up at the Patreon, and I do answer those questions on the YouTube lives that I do once a month. Yes, okay. So let's dive right into the success story. I'm really proud of this success story because this is a client that I've actually been sort of keeping up with. And I'm really excited for her. So I'm really happy that she's letting us share it because I do think that this is a huge milestone for her, and that, things are going to start to really fall into place. So without any further ado, let's read the success story. So she says, guess what? I have some success. So guess who I spoke to for a little bit today? Let me guess, your specific person? So he graduated from college today. And even though I've tried to reach out before, I just decided to swipe up on his story and say, congrats. And he replied. And then I replied to his thank you, and he replied again. So basically, she's sending this because there was 10 months of nothing, okay? And now she doesn't feel like there's any bad blood like there was. So start intending that you're texting. So every action that you would have in your relationship, once you have that relationship, start intending for now. So like, for example, when I was dating Andrew and I wanted to see him every day, I started intending we would have dinner every night together. Then he started coming over every night having dinner. And then next thing you know, one thing led to another and we moved in together because we took those, I took those steps. Okay. So there's no right or wrong way to manifest, and there's no, success or failure. It's all what you choose to create and what you choose to be a success. So you can choose to this success story to be a success and to make it mean that it's happening, or you can take the success story and say, no, it's not happening. It was nothing. Okay. So it's up to you. Now you want to create that it's getting you closer to your goal, to use the law of assumption and to create the bridge of incidences to get there. Okay. So I've done lots of videos on what a bridge of incidences is and how to create it, as well as, what living from the end is as well. So what I really want to talk about today is action, inspired action, because basically, when do we take action and when don't we take action is the big question here. Okay. So what is inspired action? The first thing I'm going to actually read is the dictionary definition of inspired. So the definition from the dictionary of inspired from Oxford Dictionary is of extraordinary quality, as if arising from some external creative impulse. Now, you guys know that there's nobody in your reality but yourself. So nothing can come to you from anybody. There's nobody out there saying, this is your chance, take it, okay? So what we talk about in the law of attraction community is called inspired action. Now, this is what some people in the law of attraction community define inspired action as. It comes from an internal nudge to do something. So you have an internal desire to do something and you follow through on that urge to help you manifest your desire. Okay, so with that being said, is there inspired action and is there not inspired action? There is no such thing as inspired action. There's only you and your reality. You choose whether your action is inspired action or your action is not inspired action. Okay. You can say, oh, you know what? I feel really inspired to reach out to them, and then create that. It's a disaster because you create with your thoughts. Okay. So there's nothing out there saying, okay, this is your moment, take it now or you're never going to get it. No, you choose. So you choose when you reach out to someone if they're going to reach out back. You choose if the action you're taking is inspired. Now, you can have a nudge to do something and then it can completely turn into a disaster, or you can have a nudge to do something and it can completely turn out to be what you needed and that gets you to where you want to go. Who creates that? That's you. You create it with your thoughts in the moment, okay? So like, for instance, okay, let's say that I want to text somebody, okay, and a crush I have, let's say, and I want them to text me back. And all of a sudden I wake up and I see like, oh, you know what? They've posted a story. I'm going to comment on that. I feel inspired to do it. Okay. Then I comment, but then all of a sudden I start thinking, oh, you know what? I start getting nervous. Like, oh, what is it? They're going to read it? What are they going to think about me? Oh, maybe they're not going to message back. And then next thing you know, I'm blocking it. So even though my action was sort of comes from, you know, a place inside of me where I felt inspired to do it, I can still block it with my thoughts. Okay. So what you always want to do, no matter what action you take, especially if it's something that you've had a lot of resistance to or you have a lot of anxiety around, you've got to stay on a mental diet. Okay. So you can call any action inspired action, but really inspired action, if you look back on something, you say, yeah, that was inspired action because that got me to where I wanted to go. So you never know what was an inspired action, or you can't label something as an inspired action until after the event has already happened. Okay. Because when you have an urge to do something, you can create it to go either way because you're the creator of your reality. Nobody out there is saying, okay, this is your shot, take it. I'm going to make sure it works out for you. No, you do that yourself. Okay. So yeah, you can get urges to do anything in your reality and you can call it inspired action, but it doesn't always have to turn out correctly. Now, sometimes you may take action and it may not turn out, but then it may actually turn out to work out a different way. But again, you create that with your assumptions and with your mental diet and with your thoughts. Okay. So that's one thing, you know, we want to keep in mind is that you create whether or not the action's inspired. You create whether the action gets you closer to your goal or not. Okay. So when do we take action? Okay. This is always the biggest question. Okay. So technically, yes, you can do everything internally and then people will reflect it back to you because everybody is you pushed out. So technically, no, you don't need to take any action. Okay. Especially when it comes to like, say, calling somebody or having them call you or texting. Now, let's say, you know, you want to become, you know, win the lottery. Okay. You're going to have to buy a lottery ticket. So you are going to have to take action for that. So, you know, or you know what? No, you might not need to. You can say, hey, you know what? Someone else is going to buy me the lottery ticket and drop it off at my house. No action needed. Right. So you choose whether or not you need to take action, but everything can be done internally. The one time that I caution about taking action is when we're trying to manipulate the 3D or to like, you know, to manipulate it or to basically meddle with it. Okay, so basically that would be like, for instance, sitting down and having like the relationship talk. Like, why aren't we in a serious relationship? Okay, that's taking action from the stance of he doesn't want to be with me, so I'm going to sit down and have a chat with him and find out why he doesn't want to be with me. Now that would actually cause to push the person away. Okay, so but if your thought is no, you know what, he loves to be with me, and tonight we're going to talk about all the reasons why he loves, you know, loves me and wants to be with me. And then when you sit down, you know, with a glass of wine or whatever, and you're like, so how was your day? And then the conversation leads to how great you are without you actually coaxing for it because you've intended it. It's going to reflect back to you. But you can always, you know, definitely create the space for it. So if you want to have that conversation for an evening, you might want to have a dinner in rather than going to a club. But if you go to a club, it's probably going to happen anyway, maybe just not at the club, maybe after or when it's not so loud or something, right? So the important thing to remember is that, you know, when you take action, if you don't get what you want, you have to accept your current reality. You can't resist it. Okay. So if you resist your current reality, you're only going to create more of it because you're looking at the lack. So the question to ask yourself whenever you want to say take action or you want to think something is inspired action is, where is it coming from? Like, what's the thought is it coming from? Is it coming from, yes, he wants to be with me, so I'm going to call him and we're going to hang out tonight? Or is it coming from, he hasn't been paying attention to me, I want to get his attention, I want to have a chat with him to see if he wants to be with me? Okay. So we've always got to accept what shows up in our reality, even if we don't want it, because we have to respect it because we've created it. Okay. So what do I mean by that? I remember way back when I wanted to move in with Andrew, I made a mistake and I took action and I said, listen, buddy, we're going to sit down and talk about why you don't want to commit. And he was like, you know what? You're pushing me away. I think I want to leave. And I was like, oh, no, 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 don't leave, don't leave. Sorry, I won't go there. So, you know, and those times, right, you've got to accept it and you have to say, okay, it's okay. You know, you can't go look at, you know what, until you're ready to be in a relationship with me, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to say, forget it. I'm not going to talk to you, because that's not going to work, because you've already created them not wanting to be with you. Okay, so you can't, manipulate them or, threaten them or coerce them in any way to want to be with them, because they have to reflect back not wanting to be with you. So you've got to accept your reality by saying, it's okay, you know what, I totally get it, you're not ready. And then you start intending that they are ready and that you are ready for a relationship. I can guarantee you, if something isn't happening in your reality, it's because you're either holding anxiety about it, you're not ready for it, you're not comfortable with it, you may need to revise some of your past. Like I know, for instance, a page from my life is when I wanted to move in with Andrew, right? I wasn't actually ready. I was nervous about it. I didn't know which place we were going to live in. And then when I finally said, look, pushing, you're going to keep coming back with rejection, rejection, rejection. When you've done enough intentions, the person will reflect it back to you. When you've shifted the story enough, they'll reflect it back to you. Okay. But again, guys, there's no right or wrong here. If you think you've done enough work and you want to test the waters, take some action, see what reflects back to you, but don't make it mean rejection. Okay. And then don't resist your current reality. If you want to date someone and they say, I'm not ready, see, that's okay. I totally get it. Okay. And then go back to your intentions and keep working on your intentions to shift what their, what their stance is, what you've already created them with. Okay. So guys, yeah, we've covered a lot in this video. Inspired action. You can call it inspired action if you want. Just please understand that there's nobody out there, okay, calling the shots, telling you when it's going to happen. You only can say it was inspired action after the fact because it worked out. And again, that's using the law of assumption, which is a bridge of incidences, okay? And then when you go to take action, make sure that you're taking action from a place of someone wants to do something. Like for instance, right? I know Andrew loves being with me. If I was to say to him tonight, that's it, we're going on a date, he would be okay with that. I know he will, because I know he loves me and wants to be with me. Right now, for instance, let's say I was dating a new guy and I wasn't sure if he wanted to be with me, and I've had some negative thoughts about it, and I'm nervous to reach out. And I've anxiety to reach out, but I do it. Guess what's going to come back? Probably rejection. Okay. Because that's what I'm putting out. Why am I nervous? I'm scared of being rejected. Right. Okay. So yeah, that's my video for today, guys. Go out and create something wonderful for yourselves. I intend that this video helps a lot of people to see, when to take action and when not to take action. And just to recap again, take action when you feel good about the action that you're going to take. Okay. And you can't question if your action is inspired or not, because nobody knows but you, because you create it. But again, you can't say it's inspired action until after you look at it, because you can take action and you can create it to work out, or you can take action, you can create it not to work out, because you're the creator of your reality. Anyways, that's my video for today, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great time. And yes, if you guys want any help finding your blocks and an action plan on how you can create some wonderful stuff in your life, definitely check out the link in the description below. We've got some great coaches, the email coaching team. They're getting success stories like crazy. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.